Hello, welcome to Finishing Touch. My name is Riley James. Got the French kit on today. This is a podcast via the State Soccer Network.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be an owner of a social media network? We have a very unique opportunity where we build you a turnkey social media website that is specific to a theme or niche that you are passionate about. Upon signing up, you'll become a part of our Social Titan community, which is made up of social network owners just like you. You can then share ideas and strategies on how to grow your user base and get more traffic to your website. But how will you make money? Once you have the traffic on your website, all you have to do is sell advertising to companies in your niche. Just 3 months ago, we launched a social network for soccer, and now that same website has over 60,000 visitors each month. That soccer website is also generating monthly income on advertising from soccer-based businesses. It's really that simple. Join our Facebook group today to learn how you can become a social titan.
And today we have a fantastic guest over in Pennsylvania. He's the head coach of the Connett area high school soccer programs. I'm so happy to welcome to the show today, Scott Hinterleiter. Scott, how you doing?
For having me. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, no, this is a big deal. You were a part of the State Soccer Network giveaway. You won it.
Yes.
What was your reaction to that?
That was great. I mean, it come in handy. We're playing indoor soccer all winter. So that basically bought shirts for the kids, and that was money they didn't have to pay. So that was fantastic.
Right. I mean, just being able to provide something for those kids, because soccer is still a big pay-to-play sport in the United States. How did that feel, just being able to gift those shirts to those kids for indoor soccer?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was nice to be able to hand them back their money that they handed me, because they all had to pitch in and toward those shirts. And then, I didn't let them know that we had won until I had my banquet, and then I handed them their money back and said, guys, the shirts are taken care of this year, and State Soccer Network, we want a drawing with them, and they were excited about it.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy we could be a part of a network that can do that for high schools across America, and I'm happy that you won. Seems like it went to good use.
Yes.
Let's get into you a little bit. Obviously, you are you're a head coach of not only high school but travel, and you coach both boys and girls. Is that right?
Yeah, I know. I'm the head coach for boys high school, and I do travel. Actually, I run the whole travel in area, so I coach the girls too for travel. And I actually am a president of our youth soccer in our SRN. So basically I have 700 kids in that.
That's a lot going on. How do you manage those two different things? And I mean, just going from different types of soccer, from high school to travel to managing and being on the administrative side, how do you handle that as far as getting each team ready to play, but also keeping it all running?
I mean, it's all different. Spring, our soccer runs for travels in the spring. I run our season for our younger kids season, our youth, that's in the summer, and then our high school is in the fall. So it depends on, some states are different when it comes to their sports, but we're set up pretty nice, so it makes it a little easier for me.
So as far as the difference of, travel soccer versus high school soccer, you've obviously been involved in both. What's the difference in the level of play that, people that watch this show, kids are going to try to play high school, college, or travel soccer? What's the difference that they should expect from going from high school soccer to, travel soccer and being on a team?
I mean, in our area, our travel soccer in our area is not like some of the schools that travel. I mean, we'll go 150 miles, but the nice thing about it is we get to play some teams we don't play during high school. Our travel in our area is we play most of the teams that we play during our high school season. So, we get to see what we're going to face coming up for the fall, but we also get to reach out and play teams in the middle of the state toward Penn State. And over that way, the teams we will never see unless we go into the state playoffs, and there's some of those schools are smaller, some of them schools are bigger than us. And then our travel has a big tournament in June up at Edinburgh University in Pennsylvania, where they bring teams in from all across the state. And then you have a big tournament there in June to finish up. So it's a nice program, but the best thing about the whole thing is it's just meeting other coaches from other teams, seeing other players from other teams. And I'm a big person to go watch games. So I like to spend a lot of time watching other coaches coach your teams, because you never can learn enough from paying attention to what other coaches are doing.
And that's, a huge value to see teams you don't ever see. And I mean, you have had the opportunity to travel and things like that with this team. As far as just seeing different teams and formations and coaching styles, do you feel like that better prepares your team for other opportunities that might come down the line, or even prepare you better as a coach for going back to high school?
It's helped me tremendously, because my area of soccer, we have very, very good schools when it comes to soccer. So it's nice for me to play some of these teams, because we'll go out and play them and travel, and then I'll watch how they're doing, how they're setting up in the spring. And then, like the one team beat us 8-0. And then we went into the season where I took them into double overtime and they beat me 3-2, when, we weren't in the same level as them. It's just by watching what they were doing. And I changed up my whole game plan, and, we could compete with them. In our area, we just don't have the draw of kids. So I have to build my schedule. I try to build my schedule around other kids playing other sports. So our school allows our kids to run cross country and also play soccer. So I have to base my home soccer games on when I can play the games and have enough kids to be there, because we just don't have the numbers where I'm located.
Brief interruption. We are looking for advertisers for the State Soccer Network website and the app. You can advertise to over 2,000 daily users on statesoccernetwork.com and the SSN app. Plans start at $30 a month, but mention our show in the email and you will get 1 month of that free. Contact statesoccernetwork@gmail.com for more information. And back to the show.
Right, and you mentioned that the playing different sports. Do you see a value in kids playing multiple sports? Do you feel like they're better conditioned? Do you feel like they're better kind of mentally to handle different circumstances in soccer, coming from cross country or football or baseball or whatever it may be?
One of my best players on the team was cross country. He's made it to states. He came in, but I think he ended up like 5th in state in cross country, but he would come right from a meet, and sometimes he would walk on the field 5 minutes before the game would start, and wouldn't even be warmed up, and he would go out there and score a goal 10 minutes in, and they never stopped. They just ran 7 miles, 8 miles, and now they're going to run another 5, 6, 7 miles playing soccer the whole time. It's just amazing how these kids can do it. I have no issues with it, and our school has no issue with it. I'll build my schedule around any of those kids. I just want them to play. I want them to be able to play the sports that they want to do. And if they want to play soccer, I'm not going to punish them for playing another sport, because it's making them better. And to be general, they're in better shape than some of the players on the team. They're doing a lot more running.
Right. And that's the value of especially cross country. I mean, we talk about soccer and being, very physically demanding. Cross country is just running without the ball, but for a lot longer. Like it's a wild thing. I could never do it, but it's this value that they bring to the table. So I'm happy to hear that. I mean, you're not punishing these kids, because there is so much to be said about high school sports and what it means for 13 to 18-year-olds. It's a wild thing that how it just carries into life. So good on you for not punishing, people not showing up until 5 minutes before the game and then coming
It's
on.
not. My biggest thing is I want them to feel comfortable with playing the game, coming out every day, and want to be there. and give me 100%. I mean, my biggest focus on these kids are their grades to come first. And I tell these kids when they come to soccer practice, if they need help in a classroom, they need to come to practice. They can not practice. They can do their homework. I'll make sure I have people that help them with their schoolwork. And that's something I set up. And that's something that the school has really gave me kudos on, because a lot of teams don't do that. My kids come out, sit out there, they do homework. I get teachers to come help them with their homework while we're practicing. And that counts for their as a practice, because they still showed up, but their schoolwork's more important to me than them being on the field. I mean, I'd rather lose every game all year and have my kids all be A students. I don't want you to take that the bad in a wrong way, but the kids in our area they're not going to go to school for soccer. They're going to school for their grades, and I'm going to help them get there.
Right. And that's awesome. That is absolutely wonderful. And to have people like you all across this country. I've talked to a few coaches now doing this job. It's awesome to see. Very thankful for people like you, and thankful for the coaches that I had that did similar things. But to transition forward, I want to talk about a little bit of your past. I got in my notes, and you told me before the show that you were set to play high school football at a big school over in West Virginia. Obviously, that didn't work out for you, but to deal with that adversity and to learn from it, has that transitioned into helping you coach or helping you help kids deal with things? How has that kind of been a part of your coaching acumen?
I mean, I went through a lot. I mean, I'm still going through a lot now. I mean, when you get hurt like that and you get as hurt as bad as I did, this soccer keeps me going. And the kids see that. They see me coming out every day after having 7 back surgeries, having a fused neck in 4 places, and they see that. They see after off season, me going in to get a surgery. We're playing indoor soccer, me coming in with a back brace on, and that just makes them work harder. I mean, I think that it has a huge effect on them, because they see that I care, and I come out there, got a broken leg right now, a broken ankle, and I have open gyms tomorrow, and I got a game on Sunday. I'm going to be walking out on that field. I mean, that's the way it's going to be, and next kids are going to see that. I don't give up on them. I want them to give up on me.
Right. By the way, thank you. I know you were at the doctor's office this morning. You made time for this today, as scheduled. So thank you for sticking to this appointment.
We actually had one of these set up not too long ago, and I had got COVID, so I couldn't do it. I got sick from it, so I had to cancel back then. So, but I'm happy I got to do it now.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Are you feeling a lot better now, or how are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm vaccinated, boosters. I'm good. I'm good to go. So, but like I said, it's tough going through that.
Right. And obviously we've had a lot to deal with as an earth, as a globe, as so many different types of people dealt with the same thing with COVID-19. Obviously you had it, I had it, but during the kind of the shutdown, especially across the United States, how did you have to handle that as far as getting kids ready to play for soccer? Did you even have soccer? What was the COVID
we had soccer season. We had soccer season last year. I mean, the kids had to play with masks on. I mean, they literally had to wear a mask when they played out on the field, and that's difficult to run around with masks. I mean, I had to constantly wear a mask. I had to be on the sidelines with a mask. Practice with a mask. I had every day when the kids come to practice, I had to take their temperatures. I had to find out who they were around. I had a booklet that I had to fill out every day. I mean, in our school watched us. I mean, I actually had school board members walk out on the field and check that I was doing those things that I was supposed to be doing, because it's hard when you're a school board member, because something happens, you can be held accountable. So they need, our school, they check, and they sit, and I've actually seen them sitting in the car watching us. It's not like it now, but when last year's season, it was it was real difficult trying to get through that season, but we got through it. I mean, they are my normal area that we normally play, and our teams that we usually play, they switched them all around, and they changed our regions and kept us within our county. And that was a good thing because our county at that time wasn't high on COVID cases. So we played all the teams in our area, and that worked out great. And then when the playoffs started, we got to go outside a little bit, but they tried to keep you within your area and with the areas, people that you usually, Crawford County, where I live, the numbers were low. So they kept us in our area playing our teams.
Did you see, or did you have to deal with kind of any adverse effects as far as players, as far as, kind of some worrying concerns from their side? Maybe not physically, but definitely, this is a very new and scary thing for high school kids to deal with. I mean, I was 19 years old dealing with it, and it was still terrifying for me. So can you kind of walk us through how you kind of dealt with the mental aspect and kind of the emotional aspect of players?
My kid, I lost players. I mean, I had players that their parents wouldn't let them come out last year. But the biggest thing with my team is, last year when we went through it, I sat them all down and said to them guys and said, this is where we're at with COVID. You see what the numbers are in our county. If you guys, the opportunity, you guys are, school's giving you the opportunity to play soccer here. So let's not do anything wrong. Let's do what they want us to do. When, at that time, sometimes we were at home doing schoolwork. Sometimes they were in school doing schoolwork. It just depended on what was going on. So that kind of screwed them up day to day. But mentally, I let them know that if they took it serious and they stayed home and they didn't go out in groups and do the things that they normally would do, we could have a season. And that was huge because I never had a single person on my team test positive. I mean, our girls volleyball team was on a run to make the state championship, and they were one game from playing for the state championship in Pennsylvania, and girls had to go out, and they got COVID and had a forfeit going into the state championship. So I told my boys that this is it's your choice. You have the choice. You make the choice. If you guys want to have a season, it's completely up to you. You have to make that decision to stay home, be safe, wear a mask, do the things you're supposed to do every day, and we'll get through the season. And we did. And then coming into this year, it was the same thing. I can't, and you can't force a vaccination on anybody, and it's their choice. But I let the boys know that it could be a different season if they are vaccinated. So it made a difference with our team. And in the last 2 years, I've never had a positive case on my team. And out of the 17 kids that I had play this year, 16 of them were vaccinated. So we didn't have any issues this year. So the kids were excited. Their parents understood where I stood with it when it come to the season. So they wanted their kids to play. So they did whatever they needed to do to keep everybody safe so that we could have a season.
One last interruption before we finish the show. Finishing Touch is now looking for sponsors. We have 3 ad spots, as you saw today, and 100,000 views the first 8 episodes of this show. It's only going to get bigger. We thank you so much for the hot start that we've had. We want to advertise your company in one of those 3 spots. Contact statesoccernetwork@gmail.com for more information, and please enjoy the end of the show.
And it seems like everything worked out. Scott, I thank you so much for the time. I have one more thing for you before we get out of here.
Yes.
So you've been around soccer for a while now. You've coached a lot of different kids. You've kind of seen how it goes. Our audience is 13 to 17-year-old high school soccer players that want to maybe be the best in high school or go to college or maybe even in the professional ranks. What general piece of advice would you have to any soccer player wanting to be the best versions of themselves?
I mean, my kid, my biggest thing is I tell the boys, you have to touch the ball. You have to touch the ball every day. I mean, you have to play. You have to give it 100%, and you have to touch the ball every day. I mean, I tell my kids, you're in your bedroom, touch the ball. kick it around. Just go outside, kick it against the wall. It's hard in our area to just because of the weather and, just basically just spend your time touching the ball and come out every practice, give 100%. I'll give you my 100% that I have every day, and we'll succeed because we have. I mean, it's been a rough years with our program, and I'm finally building it up at our school, and it's actually the kids are enjoying themselves coming out to play soccer. So now I'm actually getting more kids to come out because it's actually a game that the kids want to do at our school. So my thing is I tell them they need to touch the ball every day for 5 minutes or for an hour, but you need to have a soccer ball on your foot every day, even in the winter in your house. It doesn't matter.
Right. And Scott, I think you've proven that you're going to give 100% to these kids no matter what, showing up with all the injuries that you have, breaking your ankle and still going to coach on Sunday. That is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you again so much for the time. This was awesome.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it having me on.
All right. Have a good one. And we'll hopefully we have you back on soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for watching the show. We really do appreciate it here at the State Soccer Network. We also have some socials for you to check out: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at State Soccer Network. And at the State Soccer Network, we also have a website, statesoccernetwork.com, as you can see right there. It's available in the show description with a direct link to find out how to sign up your local high school soccer team in contests and events to win prizes. We also have an iOS app available in the App Store. Thank you so much for watching the things that we make. It really does mean a lot. And remember, the State Soccer Network, a place where you can become the next great American talent.